When I get asked, Paul, what do you do? My answer is very simple. I solve sales problems, period.
Okay, so we're going to do today, we're going to recap what we went over yesterday, but I'm going to take a little bit more slow so you could ask me questions and we could go into the psychology to that. And I think you have a better understanding now than you did at the end of the day yesterday. Because what I did is I taught you how to use the vehicle first, just drive the vehicle. Now I started telling you yesterday the psychology behind it. If I would have told you the psychology behind it and then you try to script, you will be worrying more about the psychology than the actual process. So I had to do that so it actually is going to work better to your advantage. Okay, so we're going to go over several things. We're going to go over the straight line method, the businesses, what we have in common, and then this actual sales. Okay, so now we call this the straight line method. Okay, now I'm not the creator of straight line method. Jordan Belfort is. He taught me that, but I added my own style to it. Okay, now the straight line method is like a track, right? What happens when a track gets off the track? It derails. What happens? You get into an accident, right? So the straight line method in the script is going from A to Z, from the opening, right, to the body, to the close of the deal, right? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now as I mentioned to you, the opening sets the tone, right? You have to earn respect, you have to earn trust, and you have to earn value. All within the first 3 seconds. And you see how I did it this morning. Boom, 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 boom. Whether you're cold calling on regular cold calling like we're doing, or on social media, on your followers, your subscribers, it doesn't matter. The principles still apply. So the opening, you set the tone for the relationship. The last 3 deals we got, we had 3 appointments, we got 3 deals. Why? We set the tone for how the deal was going to go. They did and you did, right? And we got the deal, so we 3 for 3. Is that always going to happen? No, but I know we're going to have a high percent of that because we already set the tone for how things are going to go and it works, right? So we set the tone how the relationship is. Then you earn respect. They got to know they respect you, right? They got to trust you, because if they don't trust you, they're not even going to let you talk. And trust is hard to earn, but it's easy to lose, no matter what it is. Think about it. When, the most valuable thing we can have with a human being is to trust them, knowing that, hey, you know what? You trust me with your office. You gave me the key yesterday. To me, I honor that. I treasure that. Because when you know I won't do you wrong, and I won't do wrong. But to me, that's the ultimate. That's a trust. But it's easy to lose too, right? So I take that, and that's important to me. Other than that, nothing else matters. Because nobody trusts me. What's the point? Okay? Then the value. You got to show value without bringing up money. Is money the value, or is the people the value? The people, right? So how we do it, we show value, solving problems, and then we give the price. Now the price is usually cheaper in their mind than the value already showed them. And it works. Okay, so the body, now you transition to the body. What is the body? The body, you're going to increase your value. Increase value, right? You're going to do the storytelling. Forgive my writing. Storytelling, and then 90% of the deals closed there. Isn't that what we did?
Yeah.
Right? So that, now, then you transition to the close. The close is just a win-win relationship. Right? But this is semantics because we're really closing here. That's what we're doing there. Now, why is the straight line method important? Because as I mentioned to you the other day, you're going to get objections typically in the opening. I call this Pluto. That's off the track. How do you get somebody back on the track? If they give you an objection, how do you get them back on the track?
You diffuse the objection and bring it back to...
There you go. With a rebuttal, powerful rebuttal, right? So your weapons is the rebuttal. Okay? So with the rebuttal, you bring them back on track. Now you're going to the body. Right? And now they're not working with you. They're over here. I call this Mars. Okay? what happens is now you got to bring them back on the track. So this is the support level, this is the resistance level. You always got to bring them back on the track. And what are the two major problems in the janitorial industry? What are the main thing? Well, was before we started. Before it was what?
It's going through the repetition of the dog and pony show.
Right. Which is what?
Which is the bid and walkthrough.
Right? So we solved that. Now we don't have to do that. We do a dog and pony show, but first we do the show and then we give you the dog and pony when we get over there. But the point is we were able to solve that issue, and that's because of the straight line method. So the straight line method is just a vehicle for you to get from point A to point B, and that includes the storytelling, all of that other stuff. Okay? So that's what the straight line method is, a psychological thing.
Now,
Go ahead.
so Mars represents what? Is that another
Objection,
So
yeah.
it's just objection either on the
Yeah.
order system.
Yeah, that's correct. And here it may be where they're not with you, so you may need to do something exciting. Or they may give you a stupid objection that has nothing to do with that, right? So for example, we have a janitorial company. I know that. I'm calling you because I know you have that, but I want to earn your business today or the next few months, right? No, come on, man, don't give me that. Okay? So now, you always got to keep them there. Here they may be out there. It's hard. It's easier to bring them from here to here than here to there. Here it may take a little bit more excitement. Here you just need to beat them down real quick. Boom. I'll be brief and to the point. I know you're busy. Okay, bring them back here. Oh yeah, but I'm happy with my janitorial company. Well, then I got to bring them up, because if they're sold on that, then that's a much more sophisticated rebuttal. So that's what the straight line method is. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. So now the script is built based on this. And if you notice the script, it's go right in right away, transition to the body. And what's the body? You want to know the pricing, discovery, you want to do all that stuff. And what is the closing? You put in the contract together, we go meet with them, and they sign. Now we're going to add to it. We're going to make sure instead of doing the monthly payment, we're going to try to get weekly payments. I want to make sure you're getting cash flow every week. Is it standard? No, but who cares? We create the standard. We're going to do business how we think is best for our relationships, right? Yeah. But it's got to benefit both parties. That's the straight line method. Okay? All right? So that's that. Now we're going to go into what the psychology. There's a lot of books out there about psychology of selling and the psychology of this and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to tell you what they don't teach you in books or they don't teach you in school. Okay? I call it the tripod. Okay? You got the business owner. You have the, let's call it the salesman for right now. Sales. Okay, now, one of the most powerful things you can do is whether you're cold calling, you're doing texting, you're doing emails, however people communicate online. Me personally, I like calling people because it's personal, it's intimate, it's real. You get to determine how the conversation goes. You get the best effective engagement because you controlled it. Texting, social media, sometimes that gets too impersonal where you're just texting. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but for me personally, I like creating my own engagement because I know where the conversation is going to go. But it applies to anything. The first thing you have to do is when you call somebody, you always have to consider this. You're calling a business owner, and let's say you're the salesman and the business owner for yourself. Okay, let's just put salesman, business owner. You have to understand that when you're cold calling businesses, they need to know that not only they're a business owner, but they're customers. And you have to make sure that you let them know that you know you're a business owner and you are a customer, right? And the next thing you tell them is, listen, I don't know about you, Mr. Customer, but Paul Cruz, I pay for value. I just don't like to get ripped off. I don't like to overpay. Do you feel the same way? When they say yes, what did they just do? They just, without knowing, they just bought you. They bought me. And I'll give you an example. I called the guy this morning, the guy that, that runs the state buildings all over the state. He called me back. This is the head guy. And he said, man, I like your pitch. But I know if he was an individual business owner, I would have got that deal. We would probably have 10 buildings today. I have confidence in that. But at the end is you always want to convey to your customer that you understand their customers and that you're a customer and that they're business owners and you're business owner. And your job is to help them do what? Generate sales, right? And well, who are those salespeople? Or who are those sales for the customer? Business owners. Think about it. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're networking, you're going to a network, and let's say, for me, I used to use golf as an example. So let's say you meet with somebody, and they like golf and you like golf. Now you start to talk about something in common, right? Golf, or in business. What are the 7 pillars we talk about? We talk about leads, sales, sales process, salespeople, monthly cash flow, annual revenue, profits, and we all have that in common. So we talk about that. Talk about something that you have in common, not something that you're going to disagree with right away. Now, what you may disagree with is how to go about it. That's different. That could be solved. But you want to have something in common. So when you talk to a prospect and you tell them, listen, I understand you get a lot of these calls. I respect that. I'll be brief and to the point. You're in with them. I'm a business owner. I get these calls all the time. You got to make yourself in their shoes. And when you tell them, listen, you're a customer like me, I buy, you buy, all the BS objections they may have is just gone. Just gone. And here, I'm going to help you there. And that's what we did. I cold call you. We met twice. We signed the deal. I'm here. 3 deals and another one coming that he's out there doing right now. Now, I don't have nothing to do with that. You guys do it. But the mindset, the attitude that you guys developed with, and that allowed you to open that door, right? So they're all business owners, just like you are, just like I am. Tripod. That's the psychology. Now, we're going to get, you got this? Does it make sense? All right. Okay, now we're going to go into this. There's 3 steps to selling anybody. You don't need to know a lot of rebuttals. You don't need to know a lot of sales techniques. You need to know 3 powerful techniques that I use every single day for the past 30 years through my straight line method. Number 1 is what I call the tie down questions. Okay, what's a tie down? Exactly what it says. Give me an example of a tie down.
Trying to remember from yesterday.
Okay.
Refresh my memory.
Do you like the idea? Fair enough.
Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Are you with me? Do you follow me? Any question that you ask and you get the answer that you need, you tied it down. It's no longer an objection. It's gone. Okay? Now, tie downs are through the whole process. When you're asking questions, those are all tie downs. So let me give you an analogy. If you go to, let's say you go camping and you want to put the tent in the ground, you got to tie it down, make sure that it can withstand the wind, right? That's a tie down. So a tie down is throughout the whole straight line method. Because remember, the more you get them engaged and the more they're saying or they're having a dialogue with you, the easier it is for them to accept giving, in my case, a credit card, in your case, accepting your proposal, getting the bid, and then going closing it. Okay? But you led them to that by a question. How many days a week do you ask? Do you have any windows? Blah, blah, blah. How much the square footage? All of that is tied down questions. Because this is important information you need to make your pitch, right? Okay, what's the second one? The second one is the path of least resistance. How beautiful that works for us. Eh? What is the path of least resistance?
So giving them something that they will, that seems like an obvious road to take. So for example, when it comes to pricing, you know, if we throw a range out there,
There you go.
you know, they're automatically gravitate to what it is that we're discussing on the price.
Right. There you go. And you gotta remember that you could say, if you could remember it in one word: options or range. Okay. So for example, let's say I need an answer in order to know that the customer is qualified to pay for my services. I'll give an example. You know, if you know you can make $100,000 in your business, knowing what you know and how much are you willing to invest. Let's say I don't know. Well, I lead them into giving me an answer. What is it, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000? They usually pick the least one, which is 10,000, which is more than what I'm gonna offer them anyway. So I'm actually saving them money. In this case, we give them the option of, you know, whether I earn your business today or the next 6 months. They're gonna remember the 6 months because that's the last thing they remember, but we're focusing on the now. And then we bring them back to that. Okay, so it's basically a range or options. The way we do it with the options, hey, we could offer you a monthly fee or you could do weekly. Okay? Now, okay, number three. Number three is what we call the box close. Okay? What is a box close?
Asking the appropriate questions
Okay.
that you're leading your customer, you're controlling the conversation
Right.
based off the qualifying questions that you're asking.
Okay. And just, I'm gonna put it in layman's term. It's a combination of tie-down questions and path of least resistance. Okay? So, as you're asking questions, your answer, you're going like this. Going like that. Going like that. Going like that. Going like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. And like that. Boom, he's in. Now, in my case, in my industry, for what I do, the way I box him in at the end, after I do my presentation and all that, and I do the pricing, I go with this. Do you like the idea? Yes. Does it make sense? Yes. Do you see the benefits, how this is going to solve your cash flow problem? Increase your revenue? Yeah, and once they say yes, boom, it's done. How do you want to secure this payment? You want to do credit card? You want to do wire transfer? There's no more debate. That's it, it's over. That's my box close. In this case, we get the pricing, we get what the services are, you know, if they have a contract, they're happy enough, okay, now box them in. I'm gonna work this out for you. If I can make it work, I can call you back, do we have a deal? Yeah, boom. That's what we've been doing, right? Because we did the tie-down question, path of least resistance, and the tie-downs is part of the discovery question, boom, boom, boom. We boxed them in, and now when you go meet with them, chances are they're gonna sign the contract. Why? Because you solved their problem. You made it easy for them. They like your presentation. It's unique, it's original, it's not the same as everybody else. I know that already. Okay? So those are the three things. And all of this is tied into the script. I very rarely get any objections. If I do, there's stupid objections that I diffuse them right away. Because my job is to find out they qualify or not. Once I know they have the money, then I'm going to do my thing. In this case, it's the same thing. Before it was just a contract. There's really no money involved. Now it's going to be real money involved. Because they're going to pick the month or they're going to pick the week. But we're going to lead them to decide the right thing, which is the week. Because you're going to show them saving money. When you can save people money and they think about it, they don't think about that, just ready to write a check. No, let's do it weekly and I'll save you money. And that's how we do it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And that's it. So so that's, in all the years, that's what it really comes down to. You know, there's other things, but you don't need to know that in this industry. And what I do, you may need to know a little bit deeper. For what you're doing, right to the point. Boom. We're going to get it to a point where in 10 minutes we're closing a deal.
at some point I would like to learn more.
You will. The only way you're gonna learn is when we get on the phone and talk to more people. Does that make sense? All right. So now what we're gonna do a little role playing, and then we're gonna get you on the phone. All right. Let me take a 5-minute break just to have some coffee. All right. That was good.